The dramatic unraveling of Gawker Media is a story of hidden motives and private vengeance, where a public spectacle masked a deeply personal crusade. At its heart is a conflict between two powerful forces, a media outlet that built its empire on exposing secrets and a tech billionaire who believed his privacy had been violated. This narrative traces how a single blog post planted a seed of resentment that grew over nearly a decade into a meticulously planned operation, one that would ultimately use the American legal system as its weapon of choice. The catalyst occurred in 2007, when a Gawker-owned site published a brief article openly discussing the sexuality of Peter Thiel, a notoriously private entrepreneur. While Thiel was open about his personal life within his own circles, he viewed this public declaration as a profound violation. This event was not an isolated incident but part of a pattern for Gawker, which had cultivated a brand of provocative, boundary-pushing journalism that thrived on mocking the powerful and publishing material others deemed unpublishable. For Thiel, this represented a toxic force operating with impunity, shielded by strong free speech protections and a fearless attitude toward controversy. Realizing a direct confrontation was futile, as attacking a media company often only fuels its fire, Thiel embarked on a covert path. He understood that challenging Gawker on First Amendment grounds was a legal quagmire. Instead, he and a close associate established a clandestine initiative to scrutinize Gawker's entire history of publication, searching not for ethical lapses in taste, but for concrete legal vulnerabilities outside the protective umbrella of free speech. The goal was to find a case so compelling it could survive the courtroom, one that could financially cripple the organization. This search required patience, significant resources, and absolute secrecy, as discovery of Thiel's involvement would have invited a devastating counterattack from Gawker's formidable media machine. The opportunity arrived in an unlikely form, a sex tape featuring Terry "Hulk Hogan" Bollea. Gawker had published a clip of the wrestler in an intimate moment, footage recorded without his consent. While Gawker viewed this as another act of transparency, Hogan saw it as a brutal invasion of privacy. His ensuing legal battle presented the perfect vehicle for Thiel's strategy. The case pivoted not on freedom of the press, but on the right to privacy, a legal avenue with a clearer path to victory. Thiel's team secretly provided the financial backing for Hogan's lawsuit, allowing the wrestler to pursue a protracted and expensive legal fight he could never have afforded alone. This hidden alliance turned a personal grievance into a well-funded legal siege. Gawker's downfall was precipitated by a critical miscalculation. Confident in its legal protections and substantial insurance, the company underestimated the threat Hogan posed. Unaware of the billionaire bankrolling the opposition, Gawker's leadership treated the lawsuit with characteristic defiance, not recognizing they were no longer fighting a celebrity but a limitless war chest dedicated to their annihilation. This overconfidence proved fatal during the trial, where the emotional testimony about privacy violations resonated more powerfully with the jury than arguments about journalistic freedom. The staggering $140 million verdict was less a judgment on the tape itself and more a condemnation of Gawker's entire modus operandi. The aftermath sent shockwaves through media and legal circles. Gawker was forced into bankruptcy and sold off in pieces, a stark demonstration of how legal liability could erase even a vocal and influential institution. Thiel's eventual revelation as the case's secret financier sparked intense debate about the ethics of using wealth to secretly shape litigation and silence critics. Supporters saw it as a righteous comeuppance for a bully, while detractors warned of a dangerous precedent where the ultra-wealthy could stealthily manipulate the courts to settle personal scores. The conspiracy, born from a 400-word blog post, succeeded not through public confrontation, but through patience, secrecy, and a strategic exploitation of the very legal system Gawker believed would protect it. It stands as a complex modern parable about privacy, power, and the lengths to which individuals will go when they feel truly wronged.